Hi guys, welcome to episode 6 of the 7,000 gold before TBC Classic launches challenge, and we're back in Tier's hand. Yep, that's right, we're here again, and this time however, there is a good logic to it. Earlier on we told you that we weren't here in our last episode because of the fact that we'd already got 2 big ticket items to get up on the auction house to get selling while we were farming other things, and that was great. But now one of them sold, so we're going to have to come back because we're looking to get some big ticket items now to add onto the auction house, and that's actually twofold, not only because we sold one of the other ones, but also because of the fact we actually have an awful lot of modest value items to sell right now. We're filling up the auction house, we're filling up our banks, we can't even collect everything, and that's more than well stocked. So what we need to do now is get 1 or 2 of the bigger items to get on the auction house to try and get them shifted as well, because we've got enough stock to supply the auction house in our modest items for quite some time. So with that said, we came back to Tier's hand, but it leads me on to talking about the big problem with gold farming that I want to discuss today, and that is going to be burnout. Now, burnout is going to set in on a daily basis when you're doing a farm like this, and that's absolutely fine. You've got your daily gold done at that point. Do something else, watch a movie, play a different game, do whatever you like. But burnout can be more of a long-term burnout, and that's where you're going to have more of an issue. This was the gold farm that I went to do, the first thing that I went to do towards this challenge on that particular day, and I wasn't really in the right frame of mind for it, but I wanted to buckle down and get it done anyway. So I put a movie on my second monitor, and I thought, right, I'll watch the movie while I do some gold farming. Something fairly commonplace because gold farming can be quite tedious at times. And the problem is, when you're burnt out and you're not in the mood, you put a lot more focus into the other things that you're doing, and it's going to reduce your performance in the gold farm. Now, still, that of itself, not a big enough problem to not do it, because I'd rather be making some gold slightly less efficiently than none at all. The problem came with my frame of mind when that reduced performance in actually playing the game led to me actually dying. Now, dying is not the end of the world. You simply run back, it's a bit of downtime, and you look like a bit of an idiot, but you can get past it. The problem is, my frame of mind then led to me rezzing at the spirit healer out of frustration and turning the game off. And that is the type of problem that you're going to have to try and find ways around, myself included. Now, the way that I tackled both the issue of burnout and also the issue of having resurrection sickness on my rogue was to mix it up a little bit. I still wanted to go make some gold, I'm still on a challenge, and I really love making these videos for you guys. But obviously the rogue was unusable, and I thought maybe I'd go for something a little bit even simpler still that I could do with my incredibly reduced focus while I watched my movie. So I went back to SM to farm herbs on the warrior. Now, the only issue we really have here is the fact that at the time, the price of both the herbs and the shadow oil and everything else in the chain was quite low, and we were already relatively well stocked. But I figured that this was a better way to end the day's gold farming than simply just stopping early. It was getting towards the end of the amount of time I had to play for the day, and I knew I could come back to it a little bit more for a refresh tomorrow, but I still wanted to get a little something out of my evening, and this is about as steady and simple of a farm as there was. So we came here. So the next day, my perseverance of making gold when I wasn't really in the mood paid off, and I got my spirit back, and it was made even more so when I went to farm some gold, and I thought it was going to be another bad day because I got to the ogres in Deadwind Pass, only to find at least 6 other people here. When I came the first time around, I literally saw nobody in an hour and a half, and ever since then it's been absolutely flooded, and every time it's been not viable for me. But I came back and there was a lot of people, but then as I got there the majority left and I just saw one other person, but at this farm that's enough to basically make it not viable. So I was about ready to give up. You actually see me get to the base of the cave and open my bag to get to my hearthstone when I do see one ogre in the cave that I thought had been cleared out. And I think, you know what, if the cave's not cleared out, that's where the warlocks are, and there's always the slim chance that we can get one of those recipes. So I thought we'd clear out the cave and then Hearthstone, and what do you know, we clear out the cave, we kill the warlock, and we get the high value recipe. The Enchant Bracer Superior Strength that sells for 100 gold, and after that, my spirits were lifted and we got right back on the horse, and it's time for us to go and have a look at how much we made through all of this. Okay, so you join me now on my bank character, taking a look at how we've done since last episode. And as you can see up here, we're at 2,177 gold, which is an improvement over our last episode by quite some margin, but it isn't as much as it actually would appear to be at first glance because of the fact we've reinvested. Yet once again, like the previous episode where we actually made a slight detriment to our gold, we've actually gone and made only a very slight profit this time because we've invested a lot of money into items that we've crafted that we are then going to go on to sell. A lot of these items, you'll see me scrolling over in my bag right now, are currently staying in my bag as they are either already fully stocked by myself on the auction house or because the prices are low, because recently we have developed some competition. Our tailoring market has been somewhat overtaken by somebody, and as a result they're dragging the price down. And it's making it a bit more difficult for us to craft some profit with tailoring, but hopefully not too bad. So as you can see, I've just done my auctions again for the morning, and I've got 94 auctions up for a total value of 600 gold, which obviously if that were to sell, put us up at 2777, which is pretty fantastic, plus what we have in our bags, probably in and around the 3000 gold total net value at the moment. If we take a quick look at what we have on the auction house, got an awful lot of life fruit that we've been picking up while we've been doing our SM farm. More crafted tailoring stuff. Wand of Eventide, thought I'd give that a go because we came across it. Again, like we've told before, green items that are of healing tend to be really good sellers. A few BOE blues that we picked up along the way. Our superior strength enchantment that we just got very happy to see. 100 gold minimum buyout, it says on there. It's out of date, as you can see, 1 day, 1 hour ago. Don't know why that hasn't updated, but we've got it up for 89.99 at the minute. We've got an enchant shield, superior spirit, not the world's greatest enchantment, but we're really hoping for one of those completionists out there who wants to buy that one. Some alchemy crafts, a lot of elixir of the mongoose that was one that we have invested heavily into, as well as our limited invulnerability potions. We also invested into our mighty troll's blood. These are actually very popular with people who are leveling, so they actually sell quite well. Not the biggest profit margin item, but definitely worth crafting. And then just a couple of ores and bars that we picked up along the way from treasure chest 2. Taking a quick look at our ledger for our revenue for the last 3 days. We'll have a look at what we've got, and as you see, we've got some of our elixirs of the mongoose sold almost immediately as we put them up last night. We've got shadow gems, some greater elixirs. We've got our librum of veracity that we got at Tier's Hand sold for 87 gold. Now that is absolutely fantastic, and one of the other things that sold that we need to stock up on from Tier's Hand, so it is one we're going to have to get back to, that one. As well as 2 greater eternal essence. That was a disenchant from a green that we got at Tier's Hand as well. Saying a lot of really minor nothing items, but they do really add up quite drastically. Limited invulnerability potions. This is the reason why you really want TSM, guys, because you see all of these items that are selling for absolutely nothing. They really add up, and it's such a nightmare to do it yourself manually. I highly recommend TSM if you don't already have it, because obviously it's going to have all your settings predetermined and it's just going to do all of this work for you. And believe me, other people are going to be benefiting as well, because then you are leveling your low level cooking, for example, and you really need some big bear meat. You're going to be really glad someone's taken the time to set up TSM properly rather than just vendoring it. So we've got another Dreamweave vest sold in there, some lips, Dreamweave circlet. Dreamweave, always an absolutely fantastic set to be selling. Millions of these low value items that we've been talking about. Small radiant shards have actually been out of stock for them for a little while now. I really need to go and stock back up on them. The chest major mana that I told you that we'd sold from Tier's Hand, so we really do need to go and stock back up. It is a great farm. See guys, finally I've been vindicated in my opinions. Sold a couple of Plague Bloom. That's looking like it was a mistake in all honesty, because that's not good value for Plague Bloom, so we'll have to take a look at some of our settings there. Sold some of our elixirs, Dreamweaves again. Selling off some of these Twilight pieces that we got in Silithus, I might give that a go again at some point. They were really slow shifters, but they did eventually sell. And just off of camera, literally as I ended the previous episode section of here where we're in the auction house, saying how I wasn't going to do the Silithus farm again, all of the encrypted Twilight text sold in one massive bulk for a decent chunk. We'll see if we can actually find it to show you all. Don't remember what it was, but if we have a look. Are they on there? No, they are not. Encrypted Twilight text. Yeah, see, so 5 and 20 for 1 gold 58 an item. 6 days and 45 minutes ago. Absolutely fantastic stuff. So we might have to give that a go as well. But that's going to wrap it up for today's video, guys. I do hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please do consider subscribing to the channel. And that way you'll be able to be kept up to date with all of our future episodes in this series. But for now, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Later.